What if everything you thought you knew about American Restoration's ending was wrong? For 6 incredible years, Rick Dale and his crew turned rust into riches, breathing life into forgotten pieces of Americana. Then, without warning, it all came crashing down. Millions of fans were left stunned when Season 7 premiered without Rick, his family, or his legendary Las Vegas shop. The History Channel offered no explanation. Rick pleaded with fans for support, and rumors began swirling about what really happened behind the scenes. The truth about American Restoration's shocking demise is darker than anyone imagined. Before Rick Dale became a household name, he was just another craftsman working in the shadows of Las Vegas. His journey to television stardom began with appearances on Pawn Stars, where his incredible restoration skills caught the attention of millions. Rick Harrison himself called Dale a certified miracle worker, and it wasn't hard to see why. When the cameras followed Rick back to his shop, viewers discovered something magical happening at Rick's restorations. The show premiered in 2010 and immediately struck gold. Unlike other reality shows focused on drama and conflict, American Restoration showcased genuine craftsmanship. Rick's ability to transform a rusted-out Coca-Cola machine into a pristine piece of Americana captivated audiences worldwide. The show wasn't just about restoration, it was about preserving history, one vintage item at a time. Rick's family made the show special in ways the producers never anticipated. His teenage son Tyler, who'd been working in the shop since age 2, brought youthful energy and natural talent. His wife Kelly handled the business side with grace and intelligence. His brother Ron provided comic relief as the laid-back picker, while stepson Brettley became the lovable underdog everyone rooted for. The crew, including the grumpy but skilled cowboy, created an authentic family atmosphere that reality TV had rarely achieved. Celebrity clients started lining up at Rick's door. Musicians like Billy Joel, Sammy Hagar, and Jason Mraz trusted their prized possessions to Dale's expert hands. The show featured everything from vintage gas pumps and jukeboxes to classic cars and motorcycles. Each episode was a masterclass in American craftsmanship, showing viewers the painstaking process of bringing dead relics back to life. By its peak, American Restoration was pulling in millions of viewers each week. The show spawned international versions and made Rick Dale one of the most recognizable faces on television. Fans made pilgrimages to Las Vegas just to visit the shop, which became a tourist attraction in its own right. The success seemed unstoppable, with Rick's restorations becoming synonymous with quality restoration work and family values. The crossover episodes with Pawn Stars, Counting Cars, and American Pickers created a History Channel universe that dominated cable television. Rick Dale wasn't just a reality TV star, he was an American success story, a craftsman who'd built an empire through skill, determination, and genuine passion for preserving the past. Nobody could have predicted the storm that was brewing behind the scenes. While American Restoration appeared unstoppable from the outside, cracks were beginning to show by Season 4. Longtime viewers started noticing changes that didn't sit well with the show's original fanbase. The authentic educational content that made the series special was slowly being replaced by manufactured drama and scripted scenarios that felt forced and unnatural. The most telling sign came in viewer reviews and online forums. Fans who had once praised the show's focus on craftsmanship began complaining about the increased emphasis on personal conflicts and silly storylines. Comments on IMDb and other platforms revealed growing frustration with the direction the show was taking. One longtime viewer wrote, "I thought this was a show about restoration, not picking out wedding dresses." Behind the scenes, tensions were escalating between Rick Dale and the production team at Left Field Pictures. Sources close to the production revealed that disputes over the show's creative direction had become increasingly common. The producers wanted more reality TV drama to compete with other shows on the network, while Rick preferred to focus on the actual restoration work that had made the series popular in the first place. The ratings told a troubling story that couldn't be ignored. While American Restoration had initially dominated its time slot, viewership began declining steadily after Season 3. The show that once commanded millions of viewers was hemorrhaging audience members who felt betrayed by the shift away from authentic content. Focus group data suggested viewers were growing tired of the manufactured conflicts and wanted more technical restoration content. Rick himself began showing signs of frustration during interviews and public appearances. His passion for the work remained evident, but there were hints that he wasn't entirely happy with how the show was being produced. In later seasons, observant fans noticed that Rick seemed less enthusiastic during certain scripted segments, particularly those involving forced drama between cast members. The introduction of new characters and storylines felt increasingly desperate. Leonard, a character added in later seasons, was widely criticized by fans as unnecessary and disruptive to the show's family dynamic. The chemistry that had made the original cast so appealing was being diluted by additions that felt more like casting decisions than natural additions to the Rick's Restorations family. Most ominously, industry Industry insiders began reporting that Rick Dale was becoming difficult to work with, according to network executives. Whether this meant he was standing up for his vision of the show or genuinely causing problems remained unclear, but the whispers suggested that major changes were coming. January 1, 2016, should have been a celebration for American Restoration fans. Instead, it became one of the most shocking moments in reality TV history. When Season 7 premiered, longtime viewers found themselves staring at their screens in disbelief. Rick Dale was nowhere to be found. Neither were Tyler, Kelly, Brettley, Ron, or any of the beloved cast members who had defined the show for 6 successful seasons. In place of Rick's restorations, the show now featured 5 completely different restoration businesses scattered across the country. Bodie Stroud, Dale Waxler, Andy Bowman Jr., Steve Hale, and Bob Halliday were competent craftsmen, but they weren't the family that millions had grown to love. The format change felt jarring and unexplained, leaving fans confused and angry. The History Channel's silence made the situation even more bewildering. No press release explained the dramatic format change. No farewell episode honored Rick Dale's contributions to the network's success. No acknowledgement that the show's entire foundation had been ripped away without warning. The network simply moved forward as if Rick Dale and his crew had never existed. Rick's response revealed the depth of his shock and hurt. Rather than fade quietly into the background, he created a video message that would become legendary among his supporters. Looking directly into the camera with obvious emotion, Rick urged his fans to visit the American Restoration website and voice their disappointment about his firing from the show. His plea was desperate and heartfelt, showing a man who felt betrayed by the network he had helped make millions. The video went viral among restoration enthusiasts and reality TV fans. Rick's authenticity in that moment reminded everyone why they had fallen in love with the show in the first place. Here was a craftsman who genuinely cared about his work and his audience, not just another reality TV personality chasing fame. His obvious pain at being dismissed without explanation resonated with millions of viewers who felt equally betrayed. What made the firing even more mysterious was Rick's refusal to explain the specific reasons behind his departure. Despite obvious anger and hurt, he maintained a level of professionalism that suggested either legal constraints or personal dignity prevented him from sharing the full story. The History Channel remained equally tight-lipped, creating a vacuum of information that fan speculation rushed to fill. The new format lasted exactly 1 season before American Restoration was canceled entirely, proving that Rick Dale and his family had been the heart and soul of the show all along. The truth behind American Restoration's shocking format change lay buried in months of escalating conflicts between Rick Dale and the network executives. While the public saw only the polished final product, industry insiders painted a picture of creative battles that had been brewing since Season 4. The clash represented a fundamental disagreement about what made the show successful and where its future should lead. According to sources close to the production, Rick Dale had grown increasingly resistant to network demands for more manufactured drama. The History Channel, riding high on the success of other reality shows, wanted American Restoration to follow the same formula of interpersonal conflicts and staged scenarios that drove ratings for programs like Storage Wars and Pawn Stars. The tension reached a breaking point during Season 6 negotiations. Network executives reportedly pushed for storylines that Rick felt compromised the integrity of his work and his family's image. One particularly contentious issue involved pressure to create romantic drama and personal conflicts that Rick viewed as exploitation of his family's private life. His refusal to cooperate with these demands earned him the reputation of being difficult to work with among network brass. Financial disputes added another layer of complexity to the deteriorating relationship. Rick's growing celebrity status and the show's international success had made him considerably more valuable, but contract negotiations became increasingly acrimonious. Sources suggested that Rick's demands for creative control and better compensation were met with resistance from executives who preferred to maintain complete authority over the show's direction. The situation was complicated by Rick's restorations becoming a tourist attraction in its own right. Fans from around the world visited the Las Vegas shop, creating additional business opportunities that the network wanted to control. Rick's desire to maintain ownership of his brand and business operations conflicted with the network's vision of expanded merchandising and licensing deals. What had once been a relaxed, family-friendly working environment became tense and formal whenever network representatives visited the set. The natural chemistry between cast members began to suffer under the weight of scripted scenarios and forced storylines. The final straw reportedly came when Rick refused to sign a contract that would have given the network significant control over his personal brand and business operations beyond the show. His unwillingness to become what he viewed as a corporate puppet sealed his fate, leading to the shocking decision to completely reboot the show without him. Despite widespread speculation about a tragic accident ending American Restoration, the truth behind the show's cancellation was far more mundane but equally devastating to fans. The real culprit wasn't a workplace disaster or personal tragedy, but the cold calculations of television executives focused solely on ratings and profit margins rather than quality content or viewer loyalty. The ratings decline that began in Season 4 had become impossible for the History Channel to ignore. While American Restoration had initially commanded audiences of over 3 million viewers per episode, that number had steadily dropped to around 1.5 million by Season 6. In the brutal world of cable television, declining viewership equals declining advertising revenue, and networks rarely hesitate to make drastic changes when profits are at stake. Internal documents later revealed that focus group research had shown audiences were growing tired of the Rick Dale format. Younger demographics, particularly the coveted 18 to 34 age group, found the show too slow and lacking excitement compared to other reality programming. Network executives became convinced that featuring multiple shops with different specialties would create more variety and attract broader audiences. The decision to completely remove Rick Dale rather than work with him represented a calculated risk that backfired spectacularly. Executives believed the American Restoration brand was strong enough to survive without its original star, assuming viewers cared more about restoration content than the specific personalities delivering it. They were catastrophically wrong. Season 7's ratings were disastrous from the premiere episode. Without Rick's family dynamic and the established relationships viewers had invested in, the show felt generic and forgettable. The 5 different shops featured in the new format never developed the chemistry or authenticity that had made Rick's Restoration special. Viewers didn't just tune out. Many actively expressed anger about their favorite show being destroyed. The financial impact extended beyond just television ratings. Rick's Restorations had become a significant tourist attraction, with fans traveling from around the world to visit the Las Vegas shop. When Rick was fired from the show, much of that tourist interest evaporated, representing lost revenue for both the business and the city of Las Vegas. Perhaps most telling was the complete cancellation of American Restoration after just 1 season of the new format. If the network had been confident in their decision, they would have given the new approach time to find its audience. Instead, the immediate cancellation served as an admission that removing Rick Dale had been a massive miscalculation that destroyed one of their most successful franchises. The sudden cancellation of American Restoration scattered the beloved cast members to very different fates, with some thriving in new ventures while others seemed to vanish from public view entirely. Rick Dale's post-show journey proved that his talents extended far beyond television, though he never quite recaptured the massive audience that had made him a household name. Rick himself pivoted into new business ventures with characteristic determination. Together with his wife Kelly, he launched My Best Font Forward LLC, focusing on custom laser-cut metal art, embroidery, and personalized gifts. The business represented a return to his artisan roots, allowing him to create custom pieces without the pressure of television production schedules. He also authored a book titled Classic Soda Machines, demonstrating his continued passion for preserving vintage Americana even without cameras rolling. Kelly Dale successfully transitioned into real estate, leveraging the business skills she'd developed managing Rick's Restorations. Her natural charisma and customer service experience from the show translated perfectly to helping clients navigate property transactions. She also maintained a strong social media presence and occasionally hosted car shows, keeping one foot in the automotive restoration world that had made her famous. Tyler Dale, who had been groomed to take over the family business, continued working in restoration but on a much smaller scale. His social media accounts from 2021 showed impressive projects, including a 1962 Mini Corvette and classic Ford F-100 builds, proving that his skills had continued developing even without television exposure. However, his posts became increasingly sporadic, and he seemed to prefer privacy over publicity. Brett Lee Otterman, Rick's stepson, found the most entrepreneurial success after the show ended. He launched his own mobile media blasting business in Las Vegas, utilizing the sandblasting skills he developed during his years as the low man on the totem pole at Rick's Restorations. The business allowed him to work with restoration shops throughout the region while maintaining his family life with his wife and 3 children. The more mysterious cast members proved harder to track. Cowboy, whose real name was Kevin Lowery, completely disappeared from public view. His absence from social media and lack of connection with his former colleagues suggested he preferred to leave his television fame behind entirely. Kyle Astorga reportedly became a hunter and outfitter in New Mexico, trading restoration work for 45,000 acres of rugged wilderness in the Tiburon Valley. Most tragically, Rick's Restorations itself closed permanently, ending a legacy that had lasted far longer than the television show that made it famous. The persistent rumors about a tragic accident ending American Restoration represent a perfect example of how misinformation spreads in the internet age, particularly when official sources remain silent about controversial decisions. These false narratives often seem more compelling than the mundane reality of corporate decision-making and ratings-driven television programming. Multiple thorough searches through credible news sources, industry publications, and official records reveal absolutely no evidence of any workplace accident, crew injury, or tragic incident connected to American Restoration's production or cancellation. The show's filming occurred in a relatively safe environment, with standard television production protocols in place. Rick's Restorations, while dealing with potentially dangerous equipment, maintained proper safety procedures throughout its operation. The accident rumors likely originated from the shocking and unexplained nature of Rick Dale's firing, combined with clickbait content creators looking to generate views with sensational headlines. When audiences desperately wanted answers about their favorite show's demise, conspiracy theories and dramatic explanations filled the information vacuum left by the History Channel's silence. Social media amplified these false narratives, with well-meaning fans sharing unverified stories that grew more elaborate with each retelling. The human tendency to prefer dramatic explanations over boring ones meant that accident theories gained more traction than the actual story of corporate mismanagement and creative differences. The real tragedy wasn't a single devastating event, but rather the slow destruction of authentic television programming in favor of manufactured drama. American Restoration's original success came from showcasing genuine craftsmanship and family relationships, but network pressure to conform to standard reality TV formulas gradually eroded what made the show special. Industry experts point to American Restoration's fate as emblematic of broader problems in television production, where short-term ratings concerns override long-term brand building and viewer loyalty. The show's cancellation represented the triumph of corporate metrics over artistic integrity and audience satisfaction. Rick Dale's dignified response to his firing, refusing to engage in public mudslinging or reveal embarrassing details about his conflicts with the network, ironically contributed to the spread of false accident theories. His professionalism left room for speculation that more dramatic explanations rushed to fill. The most revealing aspect of the accident rumors is what they say about audience investment in the show and its characters. Fans cared so deeply about Rick Dale and his family that they needed a catastrophic explanation for the show's end. The idea that corporate executives would simply discard beloved personalities for marginal ratings improvements seemed too callous to believe, even though that's exactly what happened. The real story behind American Restoration's ending reveals a tragedy far more common and devastating than any single accident could ever be. What died wasn't just a television show, but a rare example of authentic programming that celebrated craftsmanship, family values, and American ingenuity without relying on manufactured drama or exploitative storylines. Rick Dale's journey from unknown craftsman to television star and back to relative obscurity illustrates the brutal realities of modern media. His refusal to compromise his principles and exploit his family for entertainment ultimately cost him his platform, but preserved his integrity. In an industry that often rewards sensationalism over substance, Rick's stance represents both personal courage and professional suicide. The History Channel's decision to prioritize demographic data over audience loyalty backfired spectacularly, destroying not just American Restoration, but potentially damaging their relationship with viewers who had trusted the network to preserve quality programming. The immediate cancellation of Season 7 served as expensive evidence that corporate executives had fundamentally misunderstood what made the show successful. Perhaps most tragically, American Restoration's demise marked the end of an era when television could still celebrate the quiet dignity of skilled labor and family businesses. The show proved that audiences hungered for authentic content, showcasing real expertise and genuine relationships. Its success should have inspired more programming celebrating American craftsmanship, not its corporate-driven destruction. The lasting impact extends beyond entertainment into cultural preservation. Rick Dale's work documented restoration techniques and historical knowledge that might otherwise have been lost. Each episode served as an informal museum exhibit, preserving not just physical artifacts, but the stories and skills behind them. The show's cancellation represented a lost opportunity to inspire new generations of craftsmen and historians. For the millions of fans worldwide who found inspiration in watching rust transformed into beauty, American Restoration offered something increasingly rare in modern media: hope. The show demonstrated that broken things could be fixed, that patience and skill could overcome any challenge, and that family businesses could thrive through dedication and mutual support. The accident rumors that continue circulating serve as a fitting metaphor for the show's legacy. Just as Rick Dale could take the most damaged artifacts and restore them to glory, perhaps the truth about American Restoration can eventually overcome the myths and misinformation surrounding its end. The real story, while less dramatic than conspiracy theories suggest, offers more important lessons about integrity, craftsmanship, and the ongoing battle between authentic content and corporate convenience in modern television.